Hey guys, first of all, sorry I'm recording this on my phone. I really didn't want to pull out my good camera to record a 30-second video that I wanted to add at the start of this webinar. So why am I adding this video? Well, in this webinar, I spot a lot of great potential setups, but that's the key word here, potential setups. They're not actual setups yet. Some of these setups, we're not even sure if they're going to be continuations or reversals. They could go either way. We just need to give it time and let these potential setups develop into something. And this means that we're probably going to have to wait till tomorrow. So for that reason, I'm going to do a follow-up webinar tomorrow, and we're going to see how these potential setups have played out and if they're worth entering. Right now, it's a bit too risky to enter them. So don't jump the gun. Be patient. Don't just jump into these trades. They're probably not going to trigger until tomorrow. Very likely that they won't trigger till tomorrow. So wait for tomorrow's webinar where I'll take a closer look at these potential setups and see how they've developed. So here's the analysis. Hey guys, this is Nick from ForexNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Tuesday, the 8th of May, 2018, and the time is 19:06 here in the UK. You're looking at an EURJPY daily chart. In today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups on most of these pairs listed here. What do I mean by price action setups? Well, I mean reversal setups, continuation setups, range bound setups, all kinds of setups. I don't discriminate when it comes to setups. As long as it's a price action based setup, as long as I'm seeing something clearly on the chart telling me to do something, I'll take the trade. Doesn't matter if it's a reversal or continuation. So let's start looking. All right, first things first. Ooh, screen sharing is not working. That is a good point, Graham. That's because I didn't start it. Sorry. That's a bit embarrassing. Obviously, in the recording that people are watching on YouTube, you can see my screen because I was recording my desktop, but people who are in the room right now cannot see my screen. But it should be up now, guys. Is that right? Awesome. Let me shut down Steam. Right, so let's get started. EURJPY, you're looking at an EURJPY daily chart. Well, prices are pushing down, isn't it? That's quite a strong move down, actually. It's broken through this support area finally. Heading down to the next support area. There's nothing I could really do here. When price is in between support resistance, it becomes really tricky to enter a trade because you don't have a good place to put your stop loss. You don't have a good target. It's a bit tricky. So nothing we can do here. AUD New Zealand. Looks like it's starting out on a bullish trend. Looks like this wants to go up. There could be potential for a continuation here. If price drops back down into the support area and stalls here for a candle or two on the daily chart, we could be looking for a continuation from there. The problem with that is that this trend here, this new bullish trend, it's not a really strong or clearly established trend. Price could very well still be in this massively strong bearish trend. I mean, you could have argued here that the bearish trend was over, but it clearly wasn't. Same as you can argue here that the bearish trend's over, but it clearly might not be. Well, not clearly, but it might not be. So if you're willing to take the risk, you could get into a continuation here. There's obviously buyers at this support area. It's a strong support area. Held price back on its way down several times. And we can see after it broke above it, we got some wicks dipping down into this area and pulling away really quickly, followed by a nice strong bullish candle. So there's clearly buyers in this area. The question is, are the buyers, or the bulls rather, it's better to refer to them as bulls than buyers, because buyers, sellers gets a bit confusing for people. Are the bulls strong enough in this area for price to continue up? So this brings us to kind of like an impasse that a lot of traders, well, no, all traders experience. And what it comes down to is how much risk you're willing to accept. In my opinion, this would be somewhat risky trade. Just because it's a risky trade, it does not mean that it's not a valid trade. You could totally enter a continuation if it falls back down into here and price stalls. You could definitely enter a continuation there. It just depends on what your risk appetite is and how much risk you're willing to take on. I'm personally not really a big risk taker in trading. And, you know, a lot of people say that I contradict myself sometimes, because the truth is I do. Sometimes I will take a risky trade. But overall, I'm not a risk taker in trading. I prefer to go for the safer trades. So I'm probably going to skip this one. There are some occasions where I'll just say, screw it. I'm just going to jump into this trade even though it's risky because I want to. But overall, I'm generally not a risk taker in my trading. I don't like risky trades. I know that, you know, sometimes risky trades can give me a good return, but generally speaking, I don't like them. So to summarize, if AUD New Zealand falls back into the support area and price stalls here and we get signs of a reversal, you could trade a continuation. I'm probably not going to join you on that trade, but it's not a bad trade. It's just a slightly risky trade. But hey, if you take all the risky trades, you're taking way more trades than I am. And as long as you have a good risk to reward ratio, you have good risk management, you have good money management, you can end up being profitable with all those trades. So next, AUD USD. This one's going to new lows. Nice. Need some new support resistance areas. Last time price was this low was May last year. Throw one down there. I know we have a bounce here, but it looks like a bit of an anomaly, really. Wouldn't be surprised if that was NFP or something. Place one here and see if it lines up with anything, but it doesn't seem to. Yeah. No, I'm not going to place that. I'm just going to leave these two support resistance areas in. Yeah, I'm just going to leave these two in. When price is moving into an area it hasn't been in for a year, it's always a bit tricky to get good support resistance. But these two are, in my opinion, quite good support resistance areas. They have several bounces in the past, several strong bounces too. We can see here and here very, very strong bounces for this lower one. And the one slightly above it, we have some smaller bounces, but nonetheless significant. They all line up quite clearly. Good support resistance. So let's see what happens when price drops down to this area. But as for right now, it's yeah, there's no real great trading opportunity. There was a short opportunity, but it's already moved short, so just a bit late. EURJPY, what's going on with that? This seems to be oh, it started on an uptrend, but this trend seems to be possibly turning around. Maybe. Either way, there's no clear setup here, so let's just go on to something else. EURJPY. Interesting. EURJPY is support resistance area is kind of like I'm not sure about this area here because price seems to have just crashed straight through it. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it for now. EURJPY is falling into a strong support area. This is a pretty strong move down. wait, let's look at the 4 hour before. Ooh, okay. 4 hour, it's already stalling out on top of this support area. When you want to get a kind of like a breakdown of what price is doing, you just drop to a lower time frame and you get a bit of a clearer picture of what price is doing. On the 4 hour, we can see that price is clearly stalling on this support area. So that tells us that sellers, or bears rather, are struggling to get through the support area because there's bulls at the support area. It's a pretty strong support area. It's held back price once and twice. Two pretty strong moves down. So it's making another attempt at getting through here now. Let's look for a potential long trade here. There's two possible scenarios here, guys. Two good scenarios. So price hasn't been... Oh, there's a third bounce there from this area. Price hasn't been down here since late 2000... So August, September. The start of September, the end of August, 2017. So this is a pretty significant low that we're seeing right here. Our price has made a few attempts at breaking this low and it's failed. And when I say breaking, I don't mean poking below it like you see from this wick. I mean breaking, like getting through it all the way. So whenever I see something like this, I think immediately two possible scenarios. First is price is going to stall here, similar to what we saw there, and then turn around, giving us a nice little reversal trade, which is great. I like reversal trades. Reversal trades are awesome. Even when you're countering very strong trends, there's a lot of profit to be made in reversal trading if you do it right. But there's also the other scenario. The other scenario is that price is going to break below here and continue down. Hopefully, before doing so, comes back up here to pick up a few more sell orders from the bears and then drop down, because that would give us an awesome entry. So in a scenario like this, there's two possible ways to trade this. And we just need to watch carefully to figure out what we're going to do. Now, there's also another possibility that price is just going to get stuck here and move sideways for the next 6 months, which is possible. That would be the worst case scenario because that would give us no trade. But out of the scenarios we got three possible scenarios. Two of them might give us some nice trades, either the reversal or the continuation. So let's keep a very close eye on EURJPY. This area is has got some potential. Let's keep a very close eye on it. It's trending well right now too, which is always nice. All right, EURUSD. EURUSD is trending down heavily. Seems like it's stuck on this support area a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be stuck for very long. It dipped down below it. So I think it's very likely that this is going to continue down. We'll actually have a potential setup here forming maybe on a lower time frame. Maybe we can get into some kind of continuation here. Let's keep an eye on this on some of the lower time frames. Let's keep an eye on it on the 8 hour, on the 12 hour potentially. What I want to see is I want to see a pullback to this area. I want to see price picking up some sell orders here for a continuation down. This has some good potential. Not quite on the daily, but perhaps on one of the lower time frames. I'm thinking the 8 hour, something like that. Just need to be a bit patient with this one. Wait and see how it plays out. Don't jump the gun and just enter a continuation short here. We need to see what the price action is here. We need to see, price do maybe something similar to what we saw here. We need to get a good idea. Especially with continuations, you usually have a good 12 to 24 hours to get in them. Sometimes no, sometimes they just go bam and smash straight through. But a lot of times you have a good amount of time to look into it. and to decide whether it's a good trade. So don't jump the gun. Don't do anything too hasty. Just watch it. Wait. Be patient. Patience is the most important part of trading, by far. A lot of traders lack patience. A lot of new traders especially. They get into trades and the trades don't work out. Be patient. This is a time where you want to wait for another candle or two and just see how it works out. So what I would like to see would be a pullback to here. Not necessarily even a candle closing on top of here. Just I want to see a wick or something getting up into these highs. It doesn't have to be exactly into the blue zone. That's not what I'm talking about. This shaded area I have around this line, it means absolutely nothing. The only reason I have this area here is because I think it looks better. The width of that shaded area means nothing. So let's just replace that with a solid line for now. And I'll explain what I mean by a pullback. I want price to pull back and get kind of towards these highs here. Because at those highs, we're going to potentially get some sell orders triggering, which would lead to an overall continuation down. So the exact criteria of these setups is all laid out in the course. So for members, do check it out. It's the rebound continuation video and also the general continuation video. But you could also, of course, as always, ask in the forum. I don't know where that area was, somewhere around there. What time will you look? It's not like I'm going to set a specific time to check back. I'm just going to check back regularly. So every few hours, I'll just have a quick look and see how that plays out. Interesting. JPY AUD is on the 8-hour pushing up to a pretty strong resistance area. I understand the temptation to trade a continuation short from here if price stalls along here, but do keep in mind that this is not a very well established bearish trend. Price was ranging quite tightly on JPY AUD for a while, broke out of that range. Now it's coming back up. A lot of the times with these tight ranges that you get, keep in mind this is a daily chart, right? This is a daily chart. So price was ranging here. Just to put things into perspective, price was ranging here for let's count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 29 days. Now, also, another thing to keep in mind is that this is only showing trading days. So that's 5 days of the week are being shown on this chart. So I don't even know. Why do I have the calculator out? I can do this math in my head. So we've got pretty much 4 months. Obviously, I didn't mean 4 months. Sorry, I meant 4 weeks. We got 4 weeks of no. Clearly, I can't do the math in my head. 29. 6 weeks almost. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I always forget about the measure tool. I always forget that you can do this and it tells you how many bars there are. I never remember to use that tool. And every time in a webinar that I start counting candles, someone reminds me, Nick, you can use the measure tool. And every time I forget to do it. And it's not as if this measure tool is a new revolutionary thing. The measure tool has been in pretty much every platform I've used for the last 15 years. And I still never make use of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Guys, point is 30 bars. So 29, 30 bars. That's 6 weeks. Price was ranging for 6 whole weeks in this area. So this was a strong range. It wasn't just like a tiny range. Because when you look at when you look at something like this, right? you think, oh, it was ranging for a little while, but it's best to give that an actual time, to say to yourself, no, it wasn't just a little while, it was 6 whole weeks, significant amount of time. So price was ranging for 6 whole weeks. A lot of the times when price breaks out of a really strong range that's lasted for a while, what happens is it just goes straight back into it and then starts ranging again. It's a I wouldn't say common thing, but it happens somewhat often, let's say. So what we could be seeing here is price being sucked back into this range. So let's just keep a close eye on this. Don't make any hasty decisions. Don't jump in short just because price stalls here for a few candles. Like let's say it stalls on this resistance area. Don't jump in short as a continuation. Don't jump the gun. Just be a bit patient with this one. See what happens. It could be getting sucked back into this to this range. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. I want to see what happens here. There's not really any clear trade setup at the moment, but I'm just going to flag it so I can keep a close eye on it. Ooh, GBP JPY, that looks interesting. Price stalling heavily on this support area. A good support area. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent support area, definitely. Price is stalling really heavily on it. Potential for a long trade here. I'm a bit apprehensive. Strong move down, stalling heavily, but I'm a bit apprehensive. That 200 SMA is in the way. Sorry, the 200 MA. 200 MA is it's just a moving support resistance area. It's a moving support resistance area that tends to work quite well as support resistance. But that's not the reason I'm apprehensive. It's just a bit messy. Let's keep a close eye on this. Despite my apprehensiveness, this could give us a nice little long trade. Decent risk to reward ratio, especially if you manage to get in on a retrace. Let's keep an eye on this one, guys. There's potential here for a long reversal. Right, GBP USD. Still, this one, we've been watching this one since last week, and it's just like not really doing what we want it to do. You know, what would have been awesome would have been if price fell into here and then reversed. But it just hasn't, has it? This is a good one because this is a good support area, right? It's a strong support area. Well, way back. Yeah, there was a bounce way back there. The biggest recent bounce from this area is that one, and that one's a bit of a minor bounce. And it also lines up with the 200 SMA, which is, again, another support area. Let's keep a close eye on this one. This could give us a nice bullish reversal. It's a very strong bearish move. So we'd be trading against a very strong trend. But when you're trading reversals, as long as you manage your risk well, that's not a bad thing. So let's keep a close eye on that. Yeah. Trump. Let's see. Yeah, just quickly. All right, yeah, I'm just bringing it up on my phone real quick to just reading about it. Sorry, guys, I know I shouldn't be on my phone during a webinar, but you brought up a really important point. Obviously, this can have a big impact on the market, so... All right, fair enough. So yeah, this could have an impact on this week's trading. Do keep a close eye on it, guys. It could have an impact on the US dollar. But as always, news is represented on a chart by price action. So the effect that news has, we see as price action on a chart. So when we see that price action, we can still trade it. So don't the only thing that this could really affect would be any kind of surprise news that comes out after it. That could have a bit of an impact, because surprise news causes spikes, and if you're on the wrong side of that spike, you can get stopped out. So it can definitely have an effect. Just keep a close eye on the situation. But yeah, I mean, you can still trade just fine. Shouldn't really matter. We should still see some pretty decent setups forming, and should still be able to trade the setups that are forming. New Zealand JPY, by the way, is pushing down. It's in between support resistance right now, so there's not much to do there. Watch out for when it hits this 75.70 support area. That could give us a decent setup, maybe, or it could lead to a continuation. Just keep an eye on that. But right now, it's not even close. So New Zealand USD, this one's just continuing that downtrend, isn't it? Know a few of you traded a short continuation here last week, which ended up being a good trade. What time frame was that traded on? I can't remember. I think it was like a lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, there's still potential to get into a short continuation here. Let's see what happens when it dips below this support area here. If we get any good continuation signs, could enter a continuation. I'm going to keep a close eye on this one too. USD CAD has finally broken out of this tight range it was in. It was in a tight range for a while. Seems to have broken out, headed up to this next resistance area, the 130.90, or pretty much 131.00. Keep a close eye on that area. Caused a massive reversal last time, could do so again. But right now it's nowhere near it, so we won't track that one. USD CHF has finally hit that resistance area. This is it for this pair. Significant resistance area hit in November last year, caused a massive fall. So after it hit this resistance area, met this high, and then it just pulled back for quite some time. Now it's worked its way back up to that area. What's it going to do this time? This is the point where it's either make or break for USD CHF. It's either going to break above this and just continue up, or it's going to falter again like it did last time, and it's going to work its way back down. Well, of course, those aren't the only two scenarios. It could also just kind of like dip back down for a short while and then continue up. There's a lot of different scenarios that can happen, but I'm very, very interested in seeing what happens here. There's a lot of potential setups to trade here. Either reversals and continuations. Right now, it's looking like a reversal potentially. Price is stalling here. Looks like there's potential for a reversal, but this could turn around really quickly. If it breaks up above here, it could give us a nice continuation. If it dips back below and price stalls here, that could also lead to a continuation. There's a lot of potentials here. Let's keep a close eye on this one. For reversals from this resistance area, and for so reversals from this resistance area up here, which is the 100.25, and basically the 1000. It's a bit higher than that, but it's basically that psychological level there of parity, 1.000. So we're looking for potential reversals from here. If it breaks above it and comes back down, potential continuations, or potential continuations from the 99.40 if it dips back down below. So a lot of potentials there, guys. A lot of scenarios. Just need to wait and see. I want to see how this daily candle closes in particular, because this could give us a bit of a reversal. USD JPY broke above this resistance area, dipped back down, not even a very strong resistance area. Price is very messy at the moment on USD JPY. I'm not going to do anything with that. Gold, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to look at gold right now, and silver. Look at those on Thursday's members webinar. EURJPY. So let's summarize, guys. Go over to the flagged list. We'll summarize things. All right, so we got EURJPY falling into a strong support area. I want to keep a close eye on the support area for potential reversals, but also potential continuations. Don't jump the gun. Just be patient, relax, and see how things play out here. It's a strong support area, so it could give us a nice reversal, but it could also give us a nice continuation. You know, people are often confused when I say that. But the thing with trading is you need to be flexible and you need to be ready to adapt to what the charts give you. There's no way that I'm just going to say right now, our price is just going to reverse for sure, because it might reverse or it might continue. It's too early to tell. When I can tell, I will potentially, if the setup is good, make a trading decision. But right now, it's too early to tell. Right now, it could be a reversal or it could be a continuation. Too early to tell, so let's just keep a close eye on it because it is a strong support area. It's a strong support area, and we should keep a close eye on it. 12-hour. What? No, it's not. Do you mean something like a smaller time frame? I wouldn't say that's a potential setup, man. Come on. Anyway, keep a close eye on this one, guys. Daily chart, 12-hour chart, even lower. I want to see what happens here. We just need to read the charts and make our decisions when things start to unfold. It's a bit early just yet, but it is only Tuesday, so we've got a few days for things to kind of like just happen. EURUSD is stalling on this support area. You know, this is very similar to EURJPY. There's a lot of potentials here. On the lower time frames, it looks like it's dipped below, so we could be looking at a continuation. Again, just be patient, guys. Don't jump the gun. Be patient. Let's see what happens. Let's see if there's potential for a continuation or if this is just going to be a straight up reversal. We need to read the charts, read the price action, and make our decision when it does happen. GBP AUD. This one I'm just going to watch because I'm curious as to what's going to happen. There is potential to take a short here, but that's not really what I'm watching it for. What I'm watching it for mainly is to see if price gets sucked back into this area and starts bouncing around back in here. So that's my main goal with this pair right now. Or the main thing I'm watching. But hey, if we get an awesome reversal setup here, a short reversal setup from this resistance area, I'm definitely going to be willing to consider taking it. I wouldn't say willing to take it because I'm not sure yet, but it's definitely up for consideration depending on what happens. So keep a close eye on that. GBP JPY, it's quite messy. It's dipped below the support area. It's had a few attempts at continuing down, but it's failed. There's potential here. Let's keep a close eye on it. Potential for a bullish reversal. Definitely. I would say that continuation-wise, probably... I mean, if you were in it, you should already be in it. I think it's a bit too late to enter because if you're short on this, it's not performing too well right now. Let's just see what happens. Let's keep a close eye on GBP JPY. Still early in the week. Probably do another webinar tomorrow, and we'll see how these are all unfolding tomorrow. We'll probably have some more info then. GBP USD stalling heavily on this support area, supported by 200 SMA. It's looks like a pretty strong setup for a long reversal, but it also looks like it might have potential to break through. So again, as with most things so far today, just gotta wait and watch, be patient. We'll probably have more information tomorrow.